Robert Saleh happy after the game. They both get dubs for the first time in the NFL, and for the Jets and Giants win in overtime on the same day for the first time ever. So after the game, Zach Wilson on the win.
Jets quarterback Zach Wilson, you were talking about going through your progressions better, and then you go 21 for 34, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, really spread it around. How does it feel to get your first NFL win today in thrilling overtime fashion, might I add?
Yeah, awesome. I would say just intense. Every NFL game for us, we're hoping is going to, come down to us being able to finish at the end, and we got to keep getting better. But huge win for us.
And I got to give props to your defense, especially your front seven, getting 7 sacks on Ryan Tannehill. How fierce are those guys?
I mean, they're huge. I noticed it in training camp, fall camp. Those guys were getting after the quarterback, and so that was a huge part of the game plan tonight, and they did a great job.
And starting out 0-3, there's a lot of opinions out there. I know you don't listen to that outside noise, but what kind of statement does a win like this make for your team?
Yeah, it's huge. It's just another, I'd say it's another piece of the puzzle, and there's things we can definitely do better. I had chances right there at the end to end it a couple times, and so I'm beating myself up a little bit, so it really feels good to come away with the win, but we got to get better. I got to get better this next week.
Don't beat yourself up too much. Now you're on to London. How do you continue that momentum overseas?
Exactly. Like I said, stacking up the building blocks. We're going to go in, we're going to watch this tape, take away the good from it. Luckily we can say we got a win out of it, but just keep building and then applying those things for this next week.
Great first win, Zach.
Thank you.
Zach Wilson with A.J. Ross. Jamey Eisenberg, we have Jets are a viable fantasy options again.
I thought Corey Davis would have a good game. I know I joke around with the revenge factor, but he had 10 targets last week, 7 targets this week, hit the big play down the field, 4 for 111 and the touchdown. But Jamison Crowder, you got to consider him a thing. Now, Elijah Moore did not play in this game, but you saw Jamison Crowder make his debut, 9 targets, 7 catches, 61 yards and a touchdown. So he's going to be one of the more added players this week, knowing that he has a great matchup against the Falcons in week number 5.
So the Jets get their first win of the season. They don't go 0 for 17 for the season now. But a final thought maybe on Tennessee, guys, thinking about what we think of the Titans after this loss today, Pete.
It's not like they have real threats in that division, although the Colts pulled off a win today, and that's a big win for them to keep in the division, but they beat them already. This is a bad loss, though. You start separating from the rest of a bad division. That's what you do if you win that game. You can't lose to the Jets. And as for the Jets, this might be the moment where Zach Wilson grows up. He's been struggling. He's been, major disappointment, looked like he was lost. And then in the second half of that game, he started making some plays, getting outside the pocket, making some big-time throws. And this might be the moment he grows up.
Titans have offensive line concerns. Taylor Lewan got hurt in this game. They gave up 7 sacks. Now, you could say, okay, maybe Tannehill had to hold the ball a little bit more. No A.J. Brown, no Julio Jones. The run game was still fine. Derrick Henry, 33 for 157 and a touchdown. So the run blocking's not an issue. But if they can't protect Tannehill, I don't care who the receivers are, this is not going to be a successful team. They are the best team in the division. You can't lose games like this, though. You can't go into the Jets knowing that offense is struggling the way that they have, and their defense continues to look bad week in, week out. That side of the ball should be something that Mike Vrabel has playing at a high level. Right now, it's just not getting the job done.
Think about that. There are 2 losses. It's a total of 16 sacks, 9 in the first game to the Cardinals and 7 in this one. Can't win that way.
And it makes going up to Seattle, beating them in overtime to come back a little less now. Fall into 2-2. They do have a chance for a get-right game against the Jaguars. That game in Jacksonville next week. For Prisco, Jamey Eisenberg, I'm Tommy Tran. That'll do it for us here at CBS Sports HQ.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.